I played against Caliber Light, and I played against Future, who used to be known as VT Future. They were both notable players that might have had featured streams. I've watched featured streams quite a bit. Those are the two people that I played that were very notable, and they were very, very good. I was able to hold my own though, but they were definitely at least a tier above me. Top 8 masters is what Day9 would say. Going from a spectator standpoint, they had quite a few chairs, and my group never had problems finding seats. Our strategy was we wanted to kind of sit, like, the way they had it was they had a group of chairs, a walkway, and a group of chairs. So we're all kind of taller dudes. I'm a bigger dude, so we like to have our leg room, so we kind of sat at the front of the back section, and we didn't have any problem seeing what food supply was or problem seeing any kind of view, so the viewing experience was great. So that was kind of our game plan for the entire weekend. Do you think it's fair for SC2 to be main stage and more prize money when throughout the whole weekend LoL had at least double the stream numbers and sometimes triple? Or just the number of entrants SC2 gets too much money for MLG? I'm sure League of Legends will be main stage soon, maybe MLG. I think almost no matter what happens with League of Legends, no matter what kind of tournaments put on, it's always going to be featured. And I don't follow the LoL scene as much, so I don't know. Like, I'm assuming that League of Legends was also kind of featured in their game browser. So, like, in StarCraft 2 for the weekend, MLG was also featured in-game as well, and it brought you out of it. And, I mean, when you're watching a team play, and you're watching a game that's easily accessible to everyone, and, you know, no matter what kind of value that you put into it, yeah, you got 113,000 people that were watching StarCraft 2 at one time, and I think one of the screenshots also had like 174,000 just on Twitch. But StarCraft 2, I don't want to talk any shit about LoL, because LoL and, like, I consider LoL and Dota to be very similar, but, like, I'm more intellectually stimulated watching StarCraft games. Just, you know, watching people set up wombo combos and things like that, you know, it's definitely more enjoyable for me. And I know StarCraft has a good relationship with MLG. I don't know what kind of, or Blizzard has a good relationship with MLG. I don't know what kind of relationship Riot has, and I know people from Riot were on stage. So, but MLG's not in a setup where they can give $1 million tournaments every 3 or 4 months. They're just not. So the kind of team aspect for League of Legends, they're not going to be able to feature it every single time. It might be co-featured, but, you know, the top prize for, you know, all 5 of those competitors might be $50, and the entry fee for the entire team might be $500 as opposed to $100 a person. My competitor fee was $60, so I don't see it, at least on MLG standpoint, I don't see it being featured overall in any time. It took SC2 a few MLGs to get main stage, even when they had bigger numbers in Halo. SC2 was definitely an experiment, because I think StarCraft 2 was their first. It was their first PC game. And keep me honest, I might be fucking wrong, but it was their first PC game, so they wanted to kind of test out the technology and kind of make sure that everything worked before they actually, like, totally went, like, headfirst into it. But that's kind of the big thing. Fatboy 2105, my life seems awesome. Wait till you see the bills. No, I played League of Legends, and I can't get behind the. I can't. Like, I want to play more. I really, really do. I really want to learn the game so I can understand it. But the items don't make sense to me. At least it just seems like they don't. I mean, I just haven't put as much time into League of Legends as I've done Dota, and I don't like the pay to win kind of structure for it. Dota, it's like you have all the characters and all the items, you're good. But with League of Legends, it's very hard for me to look at a character and know what kind of character it is. Like, I'm like, I want to play, like, I'll play a support. Like, I'm a smart gamer, I know what a support is, so what character do I have? And it's just a tablet of shit. I'm just like, fuck, I can't choose this in 60 seconds, but I'm up for learning. Halo seemed to be the loudest, hyped loudest than League of Legends than SC2. Was this the same live? Halo was fucking loud in a lot of different things. The Halo section had no spectator area. They had a big fucking projector screen, like when you walked in, up to the right side of his Halo. And the entire, like, it was supposed to be a walkway, but people would just sit. And there were probably 60 to maybe even 100 people just sitting and watching Halo. And people doing cheering and doing a lot of other kind of fun stuff. So I didn't get a whole lot of time to watch Halo, but there were definitely times, like even in the finals, where like we're sitting watching and we just hear this, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, don't worry guys, it's Halo. So it was definitely loud, but it was really hard to kind of figure out like how many people were actually watching, because their teams are 4, so if people are actually eliminated from the tournament, they're going to be watching because they kind of want to see how the other teams are doing it. And 2, like, I mean, they're spectators, but there really wasn't a true kind of spectator view, so it was kind of hard to kind of gauge how that's going. Were you guys rooting for Flash like it seemed most people were online? I was not. I was an Naniwa fan. I wanted Naniwa to win, so I was very, very excited to see Naniwa win the first best of 3, and I was very sad to see Naniwa lose the best of 7 series. I like Flash, and I know he's a god, and I know he's from Kespa, and I know I've watched Brood War nerded out videos over him, but you know what? We gotta have our own Bones Ross in StarCraft 2, so I rooted for the fuck out of Naniwa, but it seemed like, at least in my point of view, it seemed more like people were rooting for Flash because he's fucking Flash, right? But after Flash eliminated, or at least Flash took out Naniwa, from there it was kind of rooting for Flash and making sure, because I really wanted to see a Flash Lenok final. But from watching the games, it definitely seemed like Life did a really good job of kind of shaking up Flash, so the Life Lenok finals were really, really good too. When there's no StarCraft 2 streams on, I keep myself entertained by watching League of Legends instead. I try to watch League, and I have an idea what's going on, but I have no idea any of the character names or anything what they do. Sometimes I think it's Clockbot. I think he's got like the Pudge hook and shit, but I don't know. I'm a Dota nerd. Did you even know there was Mortal Kombat in Tekken, or was it not as dead as it was on stream? The fighting games were definitely a welcome distraction in between the breaks for StarCraft 2. So we're sitting right here, and literally right here is the fighting area. There were probably 2 rows of chairs, and they were never filled. But if you've ever watched EVO, they kind of had the same setup for it. So it was kind of like they had a camera right in front, and then they'd show the camera. They'd show like the in-game, and then after the in-game was done, they'd cut to the camera, and they kind of just did that back and forth. So we watched some Mortal Kombat juggling. That's kind of what I effectively put it. We watched some Tekken, like, Game Man wrestling. Then we watched the PlayStation version of Super Smash Bros. So that's kind of... It was kind of interesting to see what they were watching, because, like, we were watching the PlayStation All-Stars, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, it's Smash Brothers for PlayStation. Xbox needs to have one of them. But there wasn't, like, they rarely made noise. Their loudspeaker was always louder than they were. I did not play the PlayStation All-Stars tournament. I was more focused on StarCraft 2, so I didn't get an opportunity to play it, but it looks different enough to be different than Smash Brothers, and I might give it a rent. So what else? There were different meet and greets throughout the entire weekend too. I was able to get a picture with. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I was able to get a picture with pretty much my favorite members of Team Liquid. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. It's right here. So open image in new tab. So it was this picture right here. So there's me. There's my wife Sabrina. And then we all know, sexy chef. Say that 5 times fast. Sexy chef. All right. Liquid, Hero, and Tasia. Hero and Tasia didn't understand a word I was saying. But they were very, very nice, and they definitely humored me. Hero's definitely an inspiration to my play, so I really liked him. And Tasia was very unimpressed. Sheth actually can teach math. Whoa, I zoomed in. I didn't mean to. Sheth can teach math, so my wife is a computer science nerd, so she's kind of had a good conversation with him. But I was able to get a picture with them. It was kind of nice. The shirt I was wearing, that was actually a logo, or a logo that my buddy Will actually made for me. On the front of it, it's got the Archon, Immortal, and Charge Lot. And on the back, it has the logo that's there that says Project StarCraft. So it's kind of nice having a jersey going into it. So I was able to get a picture with them. They also had Naniwa was doing signings. That was going on when I was warming up, so I didn't have a really good opportunity to kind of pursue that. They also I looked at one of the questions in the chat and I chuckled. Naniwa did some signings. Grubby did some signings on Sunday, and I was Evil Geniuses did some signing at the booth on Sunday as well. Day 9 was out on Saturday, and I want to punch all my friends in the face because I really wanted to talk to Day 9. But he was doing signings, and I was watching the games. I would definitely have stood in line to talk shit with Day 9. He's always fun to talk to. So lots of different kind of groups and people were doing signings and kind of picture taking and stuff, which was fucking awesome. Let's see here. My wife does not have an identical twin sister. She is an only child as far as I'm aware of. I have been to other MLGs. I've been to the last 3 in Dallas. I was actually going to intend to compete in MLG Dallas 2011. That's the one that Naniwa actually ended up winning through the open bracket and going like 26-2 and like raping everybody. So that's what I was intending on doing. I also went to MLG Dallas in 2010. That was the MLG Dallas Championships. We went day 1, and at least the spectator experience in-house gets better every time. The one that was done in 2010, they had bleachers that were actually the seats, and it was one level, and it was fucking awful. Like, your ass hurt so bad from sitting on those seats. Like, we actually sat on the floor. So that was one of the times where, like, all the Hot Pocket commercials you saw, that was the time that the Hot Pockets were around in the Old Spice commercials. It was like, from a spectator experience, it sucked because they had a big projector, so it was fun to watch, but they had the competitors like right here, like they were right here, so like they would go like, and spotting, and they cut the volume, so you'd have to watch the game without any kind of shoutcasting from Day 9 or Husky or anyone like that, or DJ Wheat, so it was just cut. But so it sucked from a spectator standpoint, like from a grassroots standpoint, it was so fucking fun. Like Day 9 would just like walk underneath the tarp and just be like, "Hey guys," and like we talked to Day 9 and got pictures with Huck and Idra and Day 9 and DJ Wheat, and it was just like, it was nice to talk to them because it wasn't just like a mob mentality where it's like, "Oh my god, shit, Day 9, will you sign my stuff?" It was just like, they were all there, which was awesome. So I like that standpoint. Dallas 2010 or 2011, excuse me. It was their first one of their, like, it was the first time saying, okay, StarCraft 2 is a featured game, we're gonna run with it. And it was the one where, like, they'd play on, like, a table and the screen